Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Son of a gun. Oh my gosh. It is freezing outside, but I was too warm last night. And I had to take some of my blankets off half hour before I got out of bed, and even then I was too warm. The inner thigh muscle on my right leg cramped up. Oh my god, it was painful. It took forever before it would let go. Thumbs up for that. It's been a great day because of that. Oh boy, there's been a lot of stuff that's been happening and going on. Yay on that. So quickly, front loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be awesome. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be cool. If you could leave me, if you could leave me a comment, anything at all, even for the algorithm, that would be double plus good. And of course, I'd like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and literally awesome people who are, in fact, literally beautiful and literally awesome, helping to keep me literally alive. And I do appreciate that. If I was homeless, I would be hosed like a Christmas monkey, and that is not a good way to be hosed. Trust me on that. If you would like to help keep me alive, I have a link in the video description, as well as a link to a PayPal for possible donations, an Amazon wishlist link with stuff like pet food on it, and then a post office box that you can send me anything at all, and I'll open it up on camera, even just a postcard. Thumbs up for that. Front loading of videos over. Oh boy, my brain. I got to bed super late, and then I stayed in bed an extra hour. Well, not even an hour, but still, I got a little bit of extra rest, but it was like 1:30 in the morning again. Oy vey. And then that overheating, even with my windows open and cold at night. Too warm, so that's special. Taking a look extra on my list, this is an odd thing, just to show you how my brain does work with all of my creative stuff. I can't even remember how this happened. I now have a new character and a new background and everything that hopped up because I was just looking through some weird stuff, and I can't remember how it popped into my head, but so all of a sudden, I had a name. The Panther, La Pantera, a Luchadore, a wrestler, a cryptid Luchadore wrestler, the Lucha Libre type. You know, he is a Mexican cryptid, 23 years old, when he expressed as a cryptid in the city of Reynosa and in the Mexican state of Tamaulipas. His full name is Miguel Angel Perez, and at 23, he expressed, and within a year, he moved up into the United States, ended up in Brookerton, and is bringing the whole Mexican wrestling thing, Luchadore, and all that to the cryptid scene in Brookerton. And he's a cryptid. He can be dangerous, of course, but he's also a professional wrestler, and he's bringing professional wrestling to the cryptid world in South Carolina. How did all this happen? No ideas. It just popped into my head while I was doing stuff this morning, and I just followed it, and now I've got a character and a new thing going on in Brookerton. So that's cool. Thumbs up on that. Let's see what else I have. There's not a lot, and I'll explain why in just a moment. The other thing I wanted to talk about is with solo RPG stuff real quick. There's the game Note Quest, and I'd have a house rule that I use where you you don't have to burn a torch and then check for a trap, and if there is one, then you disarm it, and if there's no trap, you wasted a torch. I have it, you check for a trap, you find a trap, you burn a torch, you disarm the trap. Now, if somebody was saying, well, that takes all the danger out of it, well, you can still say, if, during the finding of the trap, it kind of rattles the trap around. So there might be a 1 in 6 chance the trap goes off anyway, just to keep us a bit of danger in there. But you can carry 10 items in the game. And this one fellow, I think it's the username is pronounced like Ithaqua's Bane or Ithaqua. It's a very odd name. Hopefully a link if you're interested. Hopefully a link somewhere. But he was wondering because a scroll, a sheet of paper, takes up a slot in your inventory. The same as if you're carrying a war hammer that weighs 30 pounds. And that doesn't make sense, does it? So, he was just going with a house rule that you could carry as many scrolls as you wanted and it took up one slot. One of his viewers said, hey, make up like, it costs 50 gold coins to buy a scroll case. And then the scroll case takes up the one slot and it carries up to, say, 10 scrolls in it. And so he has a house rule. You can buy a scroll case, carry up to 10 scrolls in that case. I think that's a pretty cool idea, and I'll probably use that one as well as keeping my make sure there's a trap first, then burn a torch sort of thing. I just don't like it otherwise. I'm used to it being done differently from older games, so hey, you have to make the game fit you, so thumbs up on that. And the big thing, well, I'm going to talk about this one. Nah, it's a political thing, and I don't want to get into politics and recent events because that stuff all just sucks. Yesterday I didn't get much done because after recording I did a little bit of relaxing, and then I wanted to get some recording of the solo RPG stuff done. It took a while to get started because I wanted to make a better dice box, and so using this foam board stuff, I carefully made pencil marks on foam board, cut it out, taped it together. Now I've got a really nice little solid box. It's even got a lid for rules so I don't forget some of the more important ones. But that took a time, and it was close to 1 o'clock-ish or so before I was able to start recording, and then it was 2 o'clock when I was done recording, and then I got to break everything down because I have to move some stuff. I got to bring in my table, I got to bring in the green screen stand, I got to put a box over here, I got to put a stick across there, I got to tape my camera to the stick and then make sure it's at the right angle so that it's recording the table, and then I got to move the table around, put the stuff on the table. It takes a while. I started editing around 2:30. And it takes about less than 10 minutes for the videos, this kind of video, to render. I was able to start uploading after 7 o'clock. I finished editing around 6:30, about 4 hours worth of editing on that. It took forever. But then I like to zoom in on dice rolls. I put up rules on screens. I put in all these extra sound effects to try and do stuff. So there's reasons it takes time. That's not stuff you can really automate because you have to watch and decide when and where to make your cuts and what you're going to do when you do that. So it takes time, way too much. And then my leg, as I've mentioned, has been killing me. I dug my fingers into that spot between the shin bone and the body of my muscle, and oh my God, it has been hell ever since. It has been swollen, red, warm, and just hurting. It's not as swollen. It is still red, and the redness is moving around in that whole area, so yay? But it's not even warm anymore. But the pain hasn't gone away. It hurts like hell to go upstairs, downstairs, and walk. So yesterday, it froze just as I was starting to leave on my walkies at 7:30. We had a lot of snow, and it was freezing. So, when I was trying to leave southern Shelton, we have only 2 real roads that leave southern Shelton. One is a really snaky, long, difficult, and somewhat dangerous road to walk down if you're a pedestrian, and the other is a really short but highly angled road. I guess there's really 3 roads, but point being, that was one hell of an angle. And as I was going down, carefully sticking onto the grass where my boots would sink in and grab hold of stuff instead of the near ice rink type ice on the road, I was thinking to myself, this is probably a very bad idea. I wasn't even sure I was going to go to Walmart. But of course, in southern Shelton, I had to scoot along, downtown Shelton, had to scoot along because I couldn't lift my feet because everything was covered in ice. And if I lifted up my legs, I would have put my center of balance off and I would have fallen. So I'm scooching across roads like that and then walking carefully on areas that are going. I make it up the hill into northern Shelton, at which point all of the trucks that cleared the roads threw the snow on ice onto the sidewalks where it piled up and then after partially melting, froze. So the sidewalks were a nightmare. Some of the snow ice when you walked on would partially collapse. You couldn't tell if it would collapse a little bit, a lot, or just half of it would collapse and your leg would roll, or what. I was staggering like I was drunk from side to side because that was the only way to not fall down. If I had tried to walk like a normal person, I would have fallen down and gotten myself hurt. As it was, like I say, I was staggering side to side, making some good speed, and I never slipped or fell. But I would have situations where my leg would just go partially upward and then would land perfectly on a mound of snow that would hold me up. And other points where I was walking and one of my legs would just collapse underneath me. But it was the right time because if it hadn't collapsed, I would have been off balance and fallen. So I'm flying around, legs, arms going all different directions to keep me standing with my balance. And I'm not having any problems, but I am just everywhere, looking like I am just drunk out of my mind. But I got up to Walmart, and then I walked back home. And that was even worse because it was even colder in northern Shelton. It actually got easier to walk back into downtown Shelton from northern Shelton because I could almost race walk at full speed. That section of ice was enough my boots could sink in and grip. And then southern downtown Shelton, once again, back to just slow shuffling at points. And then the hill to get into southern Shelton. I was honestly worrying about whether or not I was going to be able to get up that hill. At one point, I was starting to slide back down. And I had to climb that. But I did, and it was not easy. Normally, if I walk to Walmart starting at 7 o'clock, I'm back at 9 o'clock. And that includes me being inside of the store and purchasing things. So I'm walking a 6-mile round trip, 2 hours, including my time in the store. It took 3.5 hours. I left at 7:30 and I got back at 11 o'clock last night. Oh my God. Luckily, my leg is doing so much better. The ankle feels good, and as I was staggering around, there were no issues. I mean, my ankle was rolling, my leg was doing all sorts of weird stuff. And while it hurts like hell today, it doesn't hurt any special. It just hurts like it has been. So, I can use it, it just hurts. But 3.5 hours with maybe 15-20 minutes of that being inside of Walmart. The rest of it was shuffling slowly or staggering around like a drunken fool, just getting to Walmart and back. Oh God. So yeah, from 7 o'clock onward, there was nothing I could do that was even halfway creative. From 2 o'clock until 7, I was busy doing the solo RPG stuff. Well, from 1 to 2, I was busy building things. And then I had 2 hours between vlogging and then starting up that stuff. My day went pretty fast yesterday. And yeah, I was concentrating pretty much on trying not to die as I walked to Walmart and back. I did some creative thinking, not a lot, very, very little of it. Most of it was just at one point laughing because it was horrible. It was horrible, absolutely nightmarish. And at the same time, it was freezing. I don't like cold, but I do so well in cold. As painful as it was, as long as it took, as horrible as it was, I had a great time. Even when I was trying not to fall and break a bone, it was awesome. I hated it, and I loved it. I do so well in cold weather. If only I'd been able to think, but I had to concentrate on not falling down and breaking a bone. So there wasn't a whole lot of creative thought. But at least I didn't fall. And oh my God, there were some people that were able to just zoom around like on some of the spots in the Walmart parking lot. But even there, the ice was so slick. I mean, if they got good boots and good shoes, thumbs up for them. But oy vey. But I survived, and that's a good thing. So let me say if there's anything else on here that I do want to talk about. There's mostly just a whole bunch of this, that, and the other. The one thing, I guess I'll talk about this, recent events and politics. I'm going to do it real quick. It's like, we've been saying this about Trump since forever. But Trump just openly coming out and saying, you know what, there was so much fraud. There was no fraud in the U.S. elections. There was so much corruption. There was no more than the standard amount of corruption that went on. This was one of the more secure and safest elections we've ever had. But he is just saying we need to suspend and get rid of all the laws that regard the last presidential election, and even just suspend the Constitution and get rid of those parts of the Constitution entirely and just kick out Joe Biden and his crew and put me in as president. Yeah, he's never thought that the Constitution or freedom or anything was a good idea. He has never been anything but a treasonous, seditionous traitor. And the current Republican GOP in the United States worships Trump still. They are the party of treason, sedition, and insurrection. And I've opened up 24 hours for the comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce their username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count in American Sign Language, well. So let me call up my Chrome. We have Sylvia Wilkinson. I do like the troll. I'm just hoping that this continued character will not do a total party kill. And my ADHD and editing the videos, I forget so much. Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up. Thank you very, very much. Good to see you. And yep, Midwestern corn-fed farmer flavor made with actual Midwestern corn-fed farmers. Thumbs up for that. We have Flora Mew, greatly appreciated. And I hope you enjoyed the adventure, even though I'd had such horrible die rolls. There is Kate, greatly appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up, a good thing. And mortality sucks, but life is life. Melissa R, thumbs up, thank you. Good to see you in the comments. It's been a time. Stalker Channing. Thumbs up, thank you. There is SD, greatly appreciated. Rosenbose? No. Roseribose. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated. Shinra, thumbs up. Thank you very, very much. And all of the things you're walking on, that would be interesting. I don't know what's going to happen with YouTube, but definitely an idea. There is Chris, greatly appreciated. Good to see you. Adrian XJG, thumbs up. Thank you much. Hopefully your Saturday was good. Ben B, thumbs up. Thank you very, very much. And greatly appreciate. Good to see you. And that is it. Well, That's loud. And thank you very, very much, each and every one of you. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. It is appreciated to no end. Definitely a thumbs up. And if you've watched this far, definitely another thumbs up for you. Or just listen. I put videos on in the background while I do other things. So if you do that with my videos, thumbs up. Thank you. But it is appreciated. Nobody's forcing you to watch or listen. You're doing this of your own volition. That is appreciated. My neck muscles just snapped now. Thumbs up. So I'm just going to continue to try and take it easy, try to do some things, do editing, and just take it easy. My bloody leg. Ay, ay, ay. Hopefully you can take it easy or get done what you like to get done. That's definitely a thumbs up too. And of course, you want to take care of yourself with everything going on. Pandemics, injuries, nightmares, oy vey. I mean, there's not much you can do if you're out walking and you hear the mournful howl of that bus horn. I mean, out there's the bus that's got somebody's name on it. Somebody's going to get smeared across the landscape. Hopefully it won't be you. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing.